The sports you love, the teams you can't live without.
Get a sense of urgency!
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone. I want to remind you about Win Ticket Wednesday, your chance to win big every week on the station. This week, you can win tickets to go see Brian Regan at Delta Center Saturday, February 14th. Get your tickets at SeatGeek.com or listen all day on Wednesday for your chance to win. Ben, there are a couple of things bouncing around the NBA that I wanted to get to because I kind of find them both outrageous, although I have not heard this yet. Okay. So maybe I'll reserve judgment until I actually hear it. But this is going viral. Caitlin Clark, which, by the way, strong move for NBC, bringing Caitlin Clark aboard as an analyst. Way to go.
Especially because the WNBA, I mean, not that they'd be playing right now anyways, but are in a lockout.
Yeah.
So
bring her on. Make it happen. I certainly am interested to hear Caitlin Clark's opinion on the National Basketball Association. Yeah. But she was down during the game, the Knicks and the Lakers with old Reg. And Reggie Miller made a comparison, her to an NBA player, and I want to hear it.
I know you guys have seen Caitlin play. She's a one-of-ones, but is there like a comparison of somebody that you played with that you guys watching the game right now that reminds you of the young lady to your right?
I like Payton Pritchard from Boston, the way he's able to handle the basket.
Payton Pritchard. And apparently, Caitlin Clark's face just goes to like
she goes kind of smiling too,
like she just ate a rotten egg sandwich. Dude, Reggie knows what he's doing. Why is everybody so mean to Caitlin Clark? And I mean that wholeheartedly. The WNBA is trying to stab her eyeballs out with their long nails. And Reggie Miller is clowning her by comparing her to Payton Pritchard? What are you doing? What is with the obsession to put this particular person in her place? I do not understand.
A quick reminder on Caitlin Clark's brief but spectacular WNBA career so far. She's played 2 years. She was the number 1 overall pick for Indiana because they were the worst team in the league. Her first year, they make the playoffs. She finishes 4th in the MVP race, wins Rookie of the Year, is an All-Star, all WNBA first team. Second year, leads Indiana to the finals. Gets hurt, and I don't think could play in the finals, right? So I don't think she was actually out there, but led them to the finals. Again, All-Star is unbelievable. And he compares her to Payton Pritchard, who is the 6th man for the Boston Celtics.
And he knows what he's doing. And he'll try and couch that as a compliment, like, oh, I really like Payton Pritchard's game. Like, Reggie, okay, Reg, you don't have to call her Michael Jordan. You don't have to have her comp be
Steph Curry
or Larry Bird or whatever. But you've got to pick an emerging star. Pick a kind of generational play, like generational potential. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like Wemby isn't the best player in the league yet, but he's had this, almost revolutionary impact already. Pick something like that. You can't pick some stiff of the Celtics. Caitlin Clark is a one-man. She is absolutely comparable to give me the star in the 70s, like Dr. J. Sure. I mean, she's comparable to these men's players back in the day that put the dang sport on the map.
Right. She's a revolutionary. She truly is a revolutionary.
The NBA existed for 20 years or 30 years or whatever it was before Dr. J, and you could pick a couple players here, but they put it on the map.
But if you and I were to play a game, name NBA players, just name NBA players, it would take us 40 minutes before one of us said Payton Pritchard. We would name 250 other people first. If I said name a WNBA player, Caitlin Clark would be second or third at absolute latest.
No, she'd be first for 99% of
for 99% of people.
Yes, she'd be first.
So,
she would have been first when she was still in college.
Correct. So
she was still in college, and somebody would be like, "Hey, name it a WNBA player." Well, Caitlin Clark.
So for Payton Pritchard to be the name he pulls out,
I know why he did this.
Why?
Who's his sister?
Oh, Cheryl Miller? You think he's...
I bet he's probably just jealous that
protecting Cheryl?
Yeah, probably protecting her because she never reached the levels that Caitlin Clark is reaching.
Not from the fame level, yeah.
I believe that being jelly is the motivation for the meanness to Caitlin Clark from at all levels. But I just don't understand.
Do you think Reggie feels that way because she's also an Indiana star now and he's protecting his own identity?
I don't know. Jelly is in there somewhere.
It's bizarre.
It's in there. But everybody's so mean to her. It's like, dude, she is the gravy train.
Mm-hmm. Right, yes.
The only reason you have any leverage at all in this current lockout is because of her.
You have a budding superstar.
And she did you notice, and I should bring up the comments, she did comment about the lockout, but it was far from advocacy.
Yeah.
Like, you should be nice to her so that she's going on NBC and clowning the WNBA owners and getting sentiment on the side of the players, but you're so mean to her that she's not motivated to do it.
Yeah.
Because you tried to fingernail out her eyeball once. So why should she go to bat for you? The key to collective bargaining is you have to have everybody on board pulling the same way.
Yes, and you have to have leverage.
And she is your leverage.
She's your entire leverage. Absolutely.
She's it.
Right. Because they have stars. They have great players. Asia Wilson's awesome. Brianna Stewart's awesome. Sabrina Ionescu's awesome. Like, they have true stars right now.
And they have young stars, too.
And none of them, though, are Paige Becker. She has incredible. Caitlin is still going to be what moves the needle
by
everybody.
By a zillion years.
Paige Beckers might be the best player in the WNBA a year from now. Might be better than Caitlin Clark. For whatever reason, Caitlin is lightning in a bottle. She just has it. She has that thing that you're looking for that can lift entire leagues.
I don't know if she still has it or whatever, but for whatever reason, and timing, skill, all the things have to do with it, she burst through she went from sports news to news. So now everybody on the planet knows who she is. She might be the dullest person alive, and she is super relevant because all of a sudden she's splashed into. Jimmer Fredette at no point in his life was the best basketball player on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
For, I don't know, several months, he was the most known basketball player on the planet. And it got him drafted in the first round. It got him to hang around the league for several years, and it got him a huge run in Europe and China. I mean, it's just you burst through into the greater discussion, and that's what people remember. That's what people know.
You know, you bring up a funny point there, because if I want to bail Reggie out, which I don't, but Jimmer's actually best NBA comp is probably Payton Pritchard. If Jimmer was coming up right now in college basketball, his comp would be, look at what Payton Pritchard's doing, coming off the bench.
Yeah, that's an accurate take about Jimmer, yeah.
That's who he is. People were saying, like, is he Mark Price or is he Steph or what are all these different things?
No, he's Payton Pritchard.
Payton Pritchard. Just be a shooter who can light it up, and if he has it, and he's electric, and if he doesn't, whatever, he's your sixth man. It's not that big of a deal. That actually isn't a bad comp. And then you're right, Jimmer Mania is maybe the most similar thing I can remember in college to what Caitlin did at Iowa. Very similar, though, that conversation. But to bridge the gap now at this point in their careers is no connection point anymore. That's too far for me to try and say that there's actually a comp there, or that I think Reggie is smart enough to make that comparison. I don't think Reggie can align those stars.
I just think, I don't know. I don't get it. You know, if Michael Jordan were in the same situation, 3 years into his career and jumped on an ad, because people were already crowning Michael the GOAT very early in his career, or LeBron too, for that matter. You imagine if Michael Jordan jumped on, like, what's the comp for this guy sitting next to you? Oh, I don't know. Delaney Rudd?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Not Dr. J so much, but he reminds me a lot of Howard Isley.
A little Howard Isley in there, yeah,
Blue
something
Edwards.
like that.
Okay. I was aiming a little higher.
I just think I don't know.
This out for you.
I don't know why it's so easy
Pritchard.
to disrespect Caitlin Clark. I don't get it. All right, so that was one thing that kind of outraged me. Can I pick another one?
It wasn't even the worst audio flub of last night. If you didn't see Cher on the Grammys, Cher also had to do a wondrous performance. It's not quite John Travolta, Idina Menzel, but Cher was put on the spot to announce the record of the year and delivered this masterpiece.
And the Grammy goes to They told me it was going to be on the prompter. Oh, the Grammy goes to Luther Vandross.
Okay, a couple of things there. First of all, no, they were not going to announce the winner on the teleprompter. It always comes in the card. If you've ever watched an award show, you know it comes on the show, on the card. Second of all, she tried to give the award to Luther Vandross, who died 20 years ago. And second of all, it's the song Luther Vandross by Kendrick Lamar, and she didn't even pronounce Luther Vandross's name right. She said Luther Vandross, who's been dead for 20 years. Anyways, shout out to Cher and live television for another masterpiece there at the biggest moments of an award show. Sorry to interrupt you. You had something else that was frustrating you.
No, I was moving on to a different story. I care very little about award shows. As you know.
And last night was a good reason why you shouldn't.
Cher is 1,000 years old.
She's 1,000.
I've never heard any of the music. I mean, you could make me kind of be interested in the Oscars.
Sure.
I got nothing with the Grammys.
Grammys, I mean, it's pop music. It's fun.
It's people dressing in nipple ring dresses and...
You saw that.
Like,
so you were watching.
You were watching. You were paying attention.
Dude, I was on the Snap Talk during the Jazz game.
Sure.
How could you not?
You got fired at work for looking at that.
Hey, you dress like that in public. You can't fire me at work for when it jumps up on page 6.
Correct. Anyways, moving on.
It's funny that I know more about these people's personal lives than I do any of their art.
Oh, that's how you sell yourself, right? You make yourself relatable. Because, you don't know Chappell Roan's music, but now you know what she looks like.
My first reaction was that had to hurt, right?
Yeah, that was my thought, too.
Like at the end of the night, I get it. I see when my wife wears uncomfortable shoes, she gets home at the end of the night and
shoes?
No, and pulls her shoes off because her feet hurt.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Have you ever worn a fake earring? Like a clip-on? By the end of the night, they hurt. Like they pinch your ears. So yeah, I would imagine that was not comfortable.
Your nipples are holding the whole dress up?
Not mine.
That's got to hurt.
Wasn't much of a dress, to be honest.
Yeah. It's light material.
How much is an acceptable amount to lift with your nipples? I would say nothing. 0.
Some people make a sport
like
of it.
4 pounds?
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't think I have the elasticity anymore.
So no, I don't care about Cher at the Grammys.
She looked good though. Shout out Cher.
Anyway, Jake, you had something.
Jake, what was on your mind?
Jason Kidd. Do we even want to do this? We could just do it. Is there more hot Grammy takes that you want to get out there? No, is there something else?
Hottest things at the Grammys.
Who was the host this year?
Trevor Noah. He was responsible for the Cher debacle because he was supposed to do it, and he said, "Cher, you're up there. Why don't you just keep going?"
So that guy has not been funny a day in his life. Ruined one of the great TV shows. One of the great brands is not even salvageable because that's how unfunny that guy is. And he sunk that show like 4 years ago. And they're digging him up to come back on the Grammys? Mm-hmm. That's how hard up they are?
Apparently. It's not a lot of great hosts anymore. We don't have a Billy Crystal at the moment to host.
Billy Crystal's still with us.
Yeah, but we don't have like that level of celebrity who's willing to host the Grammys or the Oscars or whatever.
That should tell you everything you need to know.
Probably.
I'm surprised your phone didn't ring.
Ben?
Ben.
What are you doing tonight?
Your brother told us you're funny. We need you.
Nobody else wants to do it.
We need you. Come on.
Yeah.
I didn't know Trevor Noah was still alive.
Call me. Gladly do that. I'd host an award show. That'd be great. You've hosted some award shows.
I have?
Yeah. Did you do the sports awards?
No.
Have you not hosted the sports awards locally?
No.
No. You've been a gifter? You've been an announcer?
No.
No, okay.
I don't get invited to stuff.
Okay.
I hosted the Miss Sevier County pageant.
Well, you're qualified.
Yeah, it was a good time. What?
Happy for you.
I probably did a better job than Carl Noah, and I didn't even watch how we
Trevor,
did.
do you want to talk about Jason Kidd on the other side?
No, let's hit the Golden Globes.
Globes were fine. Who's their host? Nikki Glazer? Nikki Glazer?
Let's find out what Ben's best Sundance documentary his favorite
Nikki
is.
Glazer was the host of the Globes. She was funny. She did good. I haven't seen any Sundance movies yet.
No,
No. Last year. Didn't get any ticks.
didn't make it up there.
Not yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cher, favorite Cher song?
Life After Love.
Really?
Everyone likes that song. She talked about it last night. First person to ever use auto-tune.
Favorite Cher movie?
Moonstruck.
Not Mamma Mia 2, huh?
Haven't seen it.
All right. We'll have more coming up next. Stay tuned. It's Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Whether it's the Jazz, Utes, Cougars, or Aggies, these guys have got you covered.
Time to eat, fellas.
You're locked on to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson
1, 2, 3, move it.
on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Want to remind you about our friends at Beehive Meals and their sponsorship of course, the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. I'm reading this all out of order. Apologies. Nominate the U Sports volunteer you know for the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week at KSLSports.com/contest. Listen every Thursday to JJ and Alex for the winner. It's the Beehive Meals Hero of the Week. Attempted to go from memory, Ben.
Couldn't do it.
Needed to back it up with reading the liner. Because we do that one a lot.
Yeah.
Shout out to the good folks at Beehive Meals. And if there's an assistant coach or a coach or somebody that is helping with youth sports volunteers, you need to nominate to get some recognition. Make sure and make it happen at KSLSports.com.
If you've ever thought, hey, I'm glad I'm not coaching this team right now. I'm just dropping my kids off at practice or I'm enjoying sitting in the bleachers, that's who you're thinking of.
Do you think Will's enjoying coaching this team right now?
I have that thought a lot. Will is good at towing the company line and recognizing that he has a PR campaign as well that he's trying to sell, that the Jazz are doing the right thing despite the fact that they now have the 6th worst record in the NBA by a very safe margin from the teams in front of them. It would be really difficult for the Jazz to catch the Memphis Grizzlies, who I think have the 7th worst record in the NBA, which if the Jazz get there, they would start to put their pick into a little bit more doubt. It jumps from 4% to, I think, 14% chance that they would lose the pick. Right now, they're pretty safe. Actually, a little bit less than 4% chance of falling to 9 and losing it. So Will is good at kind of saying the right things. I bet you it's not fun to lose these games. I bet you it's not fun to have your boss come down and say, all right, look, we're 10 and 15. We got to hold on to this pick. And yes, we're investing in you, and we keep giving you these contract extensions in the offseason, and that's because we want you to be the head coach the next time we make the playoffs. And this is part of the process. But, yeah, your first 4 years in the NBA have been basically getting pies thrown in your face by opposing teams over and over and over. And you look at Toronto, who has a young head coach. You look at Mark Daignault in Oklahoma City, who's able to go out there and, push his team as far as they can go. Adelman right now in Denver is a young coach who's got a chance to push his team as far as they can go. Like Will's peers, Joe Mazzulla obviously, in the business, are all able to have more success than Will is. And it's because Will is handcuffed to this draft pick and has been for the first 4 seasons of his career. So no, I bet it's not fun, but I bet it's better than most jobs, but not most other jobs in the NBA.
Why doesn't he leave?
Well, being under contract does make it difficult.
No, but he signed an extension. I agree with you. I'm just taking a step. Why not leave?
Yeah.
Why not go? Because honestly, he's doing his career a disservice. He's doing it with the promise of some, room for growth when they finally decide to win. Mm-hmm. But, we've even talked, you set the date on this show as he gets one crack at the playoffs.
I think he probably does, yeah.
That's nothing.
No, it's not.
So why not just leave?
I'm not sure he's guaranteed a better landing spot that will give him a longer runway anywhere else he goes. He might have the best runway here. He's been under contract the entire time. You're right. He keeps signing contract extensions, but it's not like his deal ever expires the summer he extends it. He's extending 2 years out from being 2 years out. His contract isn't set to expire until, and I'm just guessing, right now it's 2026, probably wasn't until 2028, and he signs one that's going to pay him through 2030. They just keep kicking that can down the road, so he does never get to that point.
He could just quit. Quinn Snyder wasn't at the end of his contract.
And there were issues there, and I heard some people from the Jazz say, yeah, he can't coach. He doesn't get to coach until he gets to X date, and then Quinn, I guess, called a local reporter and said, that's not true at all. I can coach whenever I want. I'm in control of my own destiny. So I know some of that is difficult. There are actual issues that if you're going to quit, some teams will not let you coach.
I would say he doesn't quit because he likes being an NBA coach.
I think that's exactly right.
Whatever that comes with, he likes to, and I'm not judging, be in charge. He's been dreaming of doing this. He's doing it. But the Jazz are kind of taking advantage of that, right?
A little bit.
Because there's no way that he likes it. There's no way. He's clowning himself for the betterment of everybody else. This is all going on his record.
Correct.
What's his
he
record?
does have
What's
to own
his
this.
record right now?
Yeah, he's got to be 100
Brent
games
Brown
below
has
500.
never gotten another sniff at an NBA job. And guess how many playoff runs they gave him?
One?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then somebody, comes out of nowhere and Philly goes, well, yeah, he's a good development coach, but is he the right guy to take him to the next level? And then all of a sudden he gets fired with an awful record and his career is basically over.
Ben, what'd you guess his record is? Career record?
I said 100 games below 500?
Yeah, he's 100 and 195.
Yeah.
People who don't know context, I mean, we talk to NBA people all the time, like national NBA guys get a lot of credit for knowing a lot, but the truth is they know a little about a lot.
Yeah.
You give me a national sports. Old Reggie Miller knows nothing about Will Hardy other than his name and his record.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
If you asked Reggie Miller today, hey, do you think Will Hardy's a good coach? He'd go, 100 games below 500? No, I don't.
Probably not.
So there's no way he's enjoying it. I am serious. In that game where they lost by 50 or whatever it was to Charlotte, that was genuine upset emotion, that whole game.
And
because he's specifically not enjoying this. I would speculate that he was told he didn't have to do this year, and now he is. So I would guess that he hates that, in fact. And I'm not saying he should leave, and I hope it does pay off for him.
Yeah, of course.
I hope the Jazz give him way more than just one bite at the apple in the playoffs, because that's not fair for what they're extending and telling him and all this, because there's no way. And he could totally submarine them by trying. He could. Mm-hmm. He could go out there and try. I remember when Ty Corbin won the last game of his Jazz tenure just to stick it to the club. And I think it cost him, I mean, it's stupid in this point, but like 1 or 2 draft slots.
Yeah.
Because he had the gall to go win a game. I mean, Will could really screw it up. He's putting a lot of faith into the front office and ownership, I suppose, for the Utah Jazz. Because
that they will keep
if
their
it
word.
all ends tomorrow, he's not going to get another head coaching job. While this guy, Joe Mazzulla, is rattling off championships in a job that he could have had. So I actually really feel for Will Hardy because he is compromising his best interest to have a job that he likes.
I will add some context to this conversation, which is, A, Will is extraordinarily no-nonsense behind the scenes. If you talk to Will off the record or even on the record, but when he gets a little bit more blunt than he usually is, he does not suffer the goofiness of the NBA very casually. He does not put up with it. Now, he has to right now with what the Utah Jazz are doing, and I'm sure he recognizes that, and I'm with you. I'm sure he does not love it. But he is not a guy who likes the circus of a lot of these things, where some guys I think are just happy to be around and be whatever. I agree with you. I don't think that applies to Will. On the flip side, if I remember correctly, his first contract with the Jazz was a 5-year deal. So he hasn't even reached the end of his original contract, though he's extended, I think, twice since then, to give you a sense of how far out they've probably pushed this thing. But they already gave him a long-term contract early on in his career when usually guys get 3, and I think he got 5. I would speculate. I have truly no idea. I bet you he makes $7 or $8 million a year, if not more. So it's not like he's coasting by. He's doing extraordinarily well for a 37-year-old human being. So he's making boatloads of money. He is smart enough to know that that money today, cash in hand, is better than, well, what if I can't get my next job? He will always be able to work as an assistant in the NBA, but this might be his best chance to cash in right now, and I think he's going to be fine.
But some people's blood money, right. You got money in the bank, so if it all goes south, then you're not going to be working at Ace Hardware. That's not how he visions his life or his career or any of that stuff. He's not, I would guess, fine with, if it doesn't work out here, I'll just be Doc's third assistant for the rest of my career. That's not what he wants.
I agree with you.
That's not. It's easy to say that, and it's certainly easy to say that for you and me who aren't making $7 million a year, but that's not his opinion.
I wouldn't put it past him. I would also say these guys are crazy. Every coach is crazy in the sense that they have a inflated sense of themselves is the wrong term to use. They have a belief in themselves that regardless of what happens at this job, they can get the next interview and they can wow everybody. And not because they're selling used cars, but because they actually just believe in themselves that much that, hey, I will get the next head coaching job. I'm that good of a coach. People will understand the context of what's happening here in Utah and what I've had to do. And if I need to win at the next spot, I will win at the next spot. And I've networked enough through Boston, through San Antonio, et cetera, to find my next landing spot, and I'll be just fine. I'm sure he's thought that. And you know what? Will has done a ton of PR around the NBA. Will does go around, and if you listen to national podcasts, anytime Will gets brought up, because the Jazz obviously get talked about with their tanking, people say they have a great young coach in Will Hardy. We like Will Hardy. He's gone on Brian Windhorst's podcast. If you looked over the weekend, he was on Adrian Wojnarowski's podcast, which I didn't know Woj was doing a podcast, but he was on Woj's podcast. He's done Ryan Russillo's podcast. I think he did one with Bill Simmons. Like, he will make the rounds. He's been on Zach Lowe. He's at least talked to Zach Lowe. Zach talks about their conversations. He has done enough PR work with people behind the scenes for himself that they all say he's a good coach, good guy. And teams do call these media members and say, what are your thoughts on him? What do you feel about him? What do you think about him? So he has also laid that groundwork where if this doesn't fall apart for the Jazz, I think he is held in high regard around the NBA.
All of that was 1,000% true about Brent Brown.
I don't remember
he
that,
even
but
came.
you could be
I
right.
certainly do.
You should.
I was talking about it at the time. Everybody, you could ask Locke about it because every single assistant coach from San Antonio gets the shine of Greg Popovich, Will Hardy included, and everybody was like, "Oh, Brent Brown, they got a great coach in place. They're just going through the process. He's actually a good coach. He's just losing on purpose." I mean, this is it. It was the exact same conversation. It's stats with players. You can't get over your record. So he's got to be employed by the Jazz long enough to make up 100 games. I mean, I don't know. I hope the Jazz are patient with him. I certainly hope that Ryan Smith doesn't can the Angels right when it's about to turn the corner. Then, that was really
That's what Philly did.
beginning of the end for Brent Brown. Because they fired, what's his name, who was also from San Antonio, by the way. And then hired, Elton Brand? So there's a lot that can happen. And I feel bad for Will Hardy because I don't think his record accurately represents his coaching acumen. But if I had that opinion in New York, if I went on New York radio, I said, no, dude, I promise he's a good coach, I'd be laughed off the air.
Yeah, people don't care. People just don't care.
They don't care.
Yeah.
And so you can network all you want, and I feel bad for... honestly, I feel bad for players who have to play with guys like Luka Doncic because their numbers are going to go down because he's got the ball the whole game, and then all of a sudden we're going like, oh yeah, you used to be good. It's a tough situation. I don't like so much about this tanking thing. And again, I'm not blaming the Jazz. I'm not blaming them for doing what the league set up parameters to do. It's the smart thing for a franchise to do, which is silly. But Will Hardy should never have to make the excuse to anyone that he's a better coach. Like, no, ignore my record. I'm a better coach than that, I promise. Because nobody listens to that, because there's no nuance to it. It's you're hiring the next sales manager. What are your numbers? Oh, well, my company was doing this and this and that. Oh, well, sorry.
And just so we're clear, because we are comparing specifically Will Hardy to Brett Brown. Brett had 3 playoff runs. He got 3 bites at the apple. His first year was in 2019. Let me see. Make sure I'm doing this right. No, his first year that they made the playoffs was in 2018. They beat the Heat 4-1, and then they got beat by the Celtics 1-4. Then he makes it the next year. They get beat 3-4 in the conference finals. I believe that's the Kawhi Leonard
year, yeah.
shot. And then he goes for his 3rd year. These are all with Joel Embiid at a near MVP level, and they get swept by the Boston Celtics 4-0 in 2020. And that must have been in the bubble. But they get swept. So he did get 3 bites at the apple here in the playoffs and stunk.
And
So
then,
the other issue is Brett Brown might not be a good coach. That might be true because he did get a chance to show himself at the highest level and could not get it done. If Will Hardy gets 3 chances and can't get out of the second round and has the MVP on his team, you should fire Will Hardy. I don't think it's going to be one bite at the apple. Is it possible? Certainly it's possible. The Jazz could do that. But I would be surprised if that was the approach that Ryan Smith took for this team.
I'm just uncomfortable with the whole concept. I mean, not to go WWJD on you, Ben, but what would Jerry do? If you went into Jerry Sloan's office and you said, hey, Jerry, we need you to boot these games, what do you think his response would be?
Yeah, you would have to duck because a chair would be flying at your head.
The truth is you'd never knock on his door and ask him to do it.
Of course.
So why should any coach be any different, let alone Will Hardy? You know, you take advantage of hiring a guy for his first opportunity. He's going to do whatever it takes.
What would happen if you asked Greg Popovich to do it?
He did it.
He did do it. And what happened?
He did it. And
what's the perspective of Greg Popovich?
Yeah, I get it. I'm not trying to justify or not justify the action. I just don't think it's fair for a coach to do. And by the way, Greg Popovich's legacy was more than cemented when he did that.
Well, he did it before. He did it his first year as the head coach, right? He did it the first
he didn't
year.
step aboard until did they have Tim Duncan?
He did. He stepped in the first year they had Tim Duncan. And he was the boss who assigned himself the job, if I remember correctly.
He was. Yeah. He moved down from the front office. But I don't think, was he the coach the year before when they lost all the games?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think he made somebody else sit on that landmine.
Yeah, right.
And then he took over the job.
It didn't go on his record. Absolutely. And then at the end of his career, when everybody's like, oh, this guy is the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Then he was willing
Then
to
he's
tank.
more than willing to boot games on purpose. It's not fair to the coach. It's not.
I agree.
It's not fair to the players either, but it's especially not fair to the coach.
I don't envy that Will has to do this because Will, I believe, is probably a better coach than what we've seen. Now, he's got to prove it when they actually let the rubber meet the road, and I think that's going to happen next year. I have no idea, but I think that's what's going to happen. There's no reason, in my opinion, to not go after the playoffs next season. The draft's not expected to be very good. The Jazz will have their pick regardless of what happens. If you're actually bad, good. You're actually bad, you get the pick. You don't have to fall in the top 8. Move forward that way. You've got players who are ready to win right now. You've done this for a long time. You're going to start losing the fan base if you wait too long. So I think there's all these reasons to do it, and Will get his opportunity. And then we'll actually learn if he's a good coach because I don't think we actually know. He's done things well. There's a lot of lousy coaches in the annals of basketball history who did a couple of things well. So he will have to prove that he can actually win on top of a couple of wins when it comes to developing players and building good relationships.
All right, coming up next, we'll wrap up the show. Jake and Ben on a Monday, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Who's got it better than us? Nobody! Your home for the best sports coverage in Utah. You're listening to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Two amigos on the airways, talking sports. They got him Matrix and also loves his tie-dye. Ben's got style with his scarf. Oh my. From the islands to the basketball courts.
Wrapping up Jake and Ben Show, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake, Scott, Ben Anderson. Although we will be staying on for another hour. We're going to be the first segment ever of Scotty and Friends.
Yeah.
And Scotty's not going to be with us.
Scotty and nobody, including no Scotty.
No Scotty. Dude, Scotty had to fly in and save the day for the Jazz broadcast.
The Scott Gerard Show featuring Jake and Ben.
Scotty gets a pass.
This is not permanent, by the way.
No, this is a Monday thing exclusively today.
So does that mean Christian stays too, or do we have to deal with Salazar?
Salazar is in a meeting. I just got a text. I might have to do part of the show. So
just
it's a
dropped it
full-on
on you.
takeover.
Just dropped it on you at the very last second.
It's great news.
Nice of Lloyd.
I don't know. You sound like we're complaining.
No,
about it.
I feel bad for Christian. Maybe he had a lunch date. I don't know.
No,
I always stay after anyways.
Let's hope the meeting goes long.
You don't have to risk it.
Let's hope it's a real thorough one. Keep Salazar occupied.
Yeah.
By the way, shout out to Scotty for truly, going from Logan to Toronto in a very short period of time to call 2 basketball games. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, nobody deserves a pat on the back for doing this job in this business. It's dream jobs for everybody across the board, but that's not particularly easy what he had to do. That doesn't make it less stressful.
Well, Scotty's living the dream. He still has to sleep at some point.
Yeah, right. And flying Salt Lake City to Toronto, as you mentioned, through Detroit and customs to call a basketball game on extremely short notice because it was an early tip-off also is a tough one.
In the cold.
Not to mention the weather across that half of the world.
Have you? I never listened to it, but I've seen it. Have you seen Locke's walk and talk thing?
I have.
Not that I wouldn't listen to it. I just haven't had a chance. But I see it every now and again pop up. He was like, it was so cold in Toronto. He had his sweatshirt pulled tight over his face and all this. And
he looked like Kenny from South Park.
I just couldn't help but thinking, David, you can go inside.
Yeah, just be inside.
Yeah, just be inside. Give everybody a tour of the lobby or something. You don't
just sit in front of your computer.
I totally agree.
Go down to the coffee shop inside the hotel, grab your coffee.
The concept is walk and talk. I understand. Does it mean walk and talk outside?
Yeah. And at all costs? At any cost?
At any cost, yeah, right. If your teeth are chattering and you're shivering, you're probably not delivering the information in a very effective manner.
Yeah. But yeah, apparently quite brutal.
Locke is obsessed with those.
He bought Meta glasses.
The glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah, he loves those things.
The Ray-Ban Meta
Although
glasses.
wasn't using them when he was doing the thing from Toronto.
I think he does. I think he holds it, and then he turns and puts them on.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah.
Well, Locke was excited about being on TV. I didn't hear or talk to him about it or whatever, but you could just see in his face on the TV broadcast he was just beaming. Just loving it. Got to talk to Thurl
TV
instead
people
of Ron.
liking being on TV?
What?
That's new.
Locke's not a TV guy.
Well, anyone likes being on TV.
That's not true.
No?
I don't particularly enjoy it.
When was the last time you did TV?
I don't know. I did a spot. I haven't done anything for KSL5. I did something for KMYU years ago, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, I prefer that's why I don't like YouTube. I prefer and by the way, watch and listen to us on YouTube.
But the anonymity of
it's the new world of media.
Sure,
I understand, but I like the audio medium. Mm-hmm. I like to listen to things. I'm a radio guy. I don't need to be spending 45 seconds on TV. What is honestly for Mike and Alema? What do you think the content time is for a pregame show?
Oh man, I mean they do a half-hour pregame show. It's cut down to 22 minutes probably already with commercials. When you talk about them actually on 6 minutes, 8 minutes.
Right. And in little 2-3 minute blasts too.
Yeah.
I'm way too windy for that crap.
Correct.
Don't limit me with your television. I need big meaty segments. I need 15 minutes.
For whatever reason, and this is not on purpose, we don't program our show to be digestible on social media. But because of the way you host a show, because you're a good programmer, you design a good show, you make good social media content, which is why you should also follow KSL Sports on Instagram. But a lot of our clips, thanks to Christian for polling them and sending them over to Griffin, who edits our videos, but do end up on social media. I think because of the way you do a show. And you're pretty linear. You're good at keeping a singular thought. Better than I am.
I don't know about that.
Well, better than Karl Malone.
Oh.
Larry Miller.
Oh, he and Larry together were something.
You know who was terrible at that was Quinn Snyder also. Quinn would not finish a sentence before picking up something else.
Oh, yeah, but with him it was a strategy. I don't think that was...
I think you're right.
I think that he was one of the most paranoid people I've ever met. Yeah. He never wanted to say anything ever.
The second he realized he was revealing something, he turned a corner.
You could ask him what his favorite breakfast cereal was, and he'd look at you with a side eye like, how dare you?
I'll never forget when we asked him, you read any books lately? And he was like, I don't want anyone to psychoanalyze me. It's like, oh, we were just wondering if you like to read.
Do you enjoy the written word?
What are you talking about?
You could just make something up. You could say John Grisham, and everybody would be like, oh, okay.
Yeah, some classics. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah. Steinbeck. I don't know.
Why do you want to know?
Yeah. No, I don't want to say it because I don't want anyone to psychoanalyze me. Now I want to know what you're reading.
Did I tell you, I went to this was a long time ago. I went to a party. I was invited by my cousin to a party. Mm-hmm. She grew up in Salt Lake, then moved to Missoula, and she was coming back to visit in Salt Lake and invited me to a party with some of her old friends. So sure, why not? This, I'll tell you what, Ben, this was sketchy party, to put it lightly. I'll leave it at sketchy.
Okay.
Anyway, I was talking to the boyfriend of her friend who had invited us. Don't even remember his name. Trying to make some small talk because I didn't know anybody. And I said, hey, where do you live? Fairly innocuous question, right? He looks me straight in the eye and he says, why? Do you want to rob me? And I said, no.
Well, my Uber's here.
No. I'm just trying to,
Just got a text.
I'm just trying to make some
My
small
ride
talk.
share's here. I hate to make him wait.
Well,
Thanks for the invite to the party.
I sure as heck am not going to tell you where I live after that.
Yeah.
After that answer right there. But that's what Quinn Snyder, like, my favorite author. Why? Why do you want to know? That's so weird. Is that not weird?
Bizarre. Absolutely bizarre.
He was a weird guy.
Be a little human. Quinn?
Yeah.
Or the buddy of the
Oh,
party?
no, that guy. I don't know. That guy's probably in jail or something. Yeah, that guy was a weird guy. No. Quinn Snyder was a weird. The paranoia was next level. It was very strange.
The connecting point there is paranoia.
Like I don't get to immediately interview Will Hardy all that often, but we've had a chance to talk to him at Media Day or whatever. And I'll ask him something stupid about his kids, and he gives a great answer.
What are your kids watching on TV?
You asked him about K-pop Demon
I
Hunters.
did, yeah. And he laughs and gives you a good answer. Quinn Snyder would look at you and be like, how dare you? How dare you, one, waste my time with such an innocuous question, and two, pry into my personal life?
I once asked Quinn how he gets his news, and I was talking. It was probably almost exactly 7 years ago to the day, because what I was asking about was trade deadline stuff. And it was like there had been some big trade in the NBA. I don't know what it was while Quinn was here. And I said, how do you get your news? Because we were talking about, your thoughts on this trade. And he goes, what do you mean, how do I get my news? Like, what channel am I watching? I was like, no, I mean, like when the NBA story breaks, you say you don't have Twitter. I don't believe that. You say you don't have Twitter.
So what? You get
get
a cable or something?
You don't get Woj notifications on your phone. How do you find out about trades if that's not how you're plugged in? That was as simple as the question was, but he had the same. And he wasn't aggressive about it, but he was like, immediately the wall went up of like, what are you trying to figure out about me? Like, yeah, who tells you about NBA trades when you're operating at this level in your life? Does Dennis Lindsay text you? Does Justin Zanuck text you and say, oh, did you see that trade? I don't know. But yeah, the wall went up immediately. Will Hardy doesn't have that.
Oh, everyone has that.
To a point.
But, and I guess why wouldn't you, when you're interacting with the public, you want to be sensitive about what foot you put forward, but has more of a filter as to, oh, okay, I can talk about K-pop Demon Hunters. I love my kids. I don't care if people know that I'm active in my kids' life,
Yeah.
All right, stay tuned. Scotty and Friends coming up next, starring Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.